thing here is that we must provide regular feedback to the people that we are managing. Every time that we are in contact with him on daily basis, not wait for 6 months, don't wait for 3 months, don't wait for 12 months. No. Every time and again, check on him, check on her, what she is doing and how she is doing it. And then number 3, conduct performance evaluations. Conducting performance evaluations. What are evaluations? What are evaluations in this understanding, in this context? Or assessing, yes. What else? Performance appraisals, okay? So in this case, we're talking about performance evaluations, we're talking about performance appraisals, where now you are evaluating. You are looking at what he has achieved and what he has not achieved. So you have to go through that performance appraisal. How do you do the performance appraisals? 360 feedback, whereby everybody is involved. What else? You can use a line manager versus an employee, where 2 people, a line manager would appraise an employee, and also what else? No, there are so many ways up to the top manager. So we are saying conduct performance evaluations. After you have done that, provide coaching and development opportunities to enhance their skills and knowledge. So after you have evaluated and you have seen the gaps that are there, you must provide now developments whereby you are sending this particular person for a training. You are sending this particular person for a training to have skills and knowledge required for that particular job. So this is very important for you to keep a talented person in your organization. Suppose you have hired someone else to be a macro director, and this macro director, he is in need of other skills. So you must send him to school so that he is able to acquire the skills for. Yeah. So you must provide that development opportunities to enhance their skills and knowledge. You know, you'll find that human resource managers, sometimes they don't want to send people to school. Why? Why do other human resource managers don't like their employees to go back to school? I'm teaching weekend students who are working, but as I tell you, it's really a hassle for a human resource manager to say you can go back to school. Why do you think they don't allow people to go back to school? You'll be qualified more than them, okay? The fear of unknown. Okay, what else? Okay, that's self-interest.
They also think that if they are educated, they are qualified, they can move.
And getting blank paper.
Running away from you. So that is another big fear in most of the companies, whereby the banners, the HR managers would not want to develop their employees because they think they'll run away from them. How do you still keep them there in the organization after you train them? How do you keep them there? How would you make sure that after the training, this particular person will come back? Yes, to bond. You sign a bond to say after you finished your school, you will be here working at the University of Lilongwe for 5 years. After 5 years, then you are welcome to leave the organization. So you sign a bond. You sign a bond to make sure that this particular person is there. So what we're trying to say is that the talented people that we have in our organization, we must manage them carefully, because otherwise they will run away from us. Do you know Kabambe? Who is Kabambe? Can you describe him?
He's a politician.
Okay. Yes, go on. Yes, he is a politician, yes, currently. Before that? Before that, he was a Reserve Bank governor. Okay. He is an economist. So, the guy is talented in finances, in the economic field. So, he's good in that area. Now, this guy has joined DPP, all right? Has DPP managed to keep him? Okay. Why? You guys, you must be able to be very familiar with what is happening in your country. Yeah. And where is he now? He's in UTM. Okay. Is he why is he in UTM? Okay, he wants to be a leader in UTM, okay? The UTM guys have seen how talented this young man is. And therefore, the UTM thinks that probably when he comes in here, he'll be able to uplift the party to another level. Now, it is very, very important to develop the people that you have acquired in an organization. Because if you don't develop them, if you don't coach them, if you don't keep them, they can run away from you. So, similarly with the DPP, DPP managed to attract Kabambe, but they didn't keep him. They didn't keep him. Why? Because, number one, the goals and expectations were not there for Kabambe. On the side of Kabambe, his expectation was that after Ndalawa, I will become the president. But that did not happen. And therefore, he has run away. So all these that we have mentioned here, very important for you to keep a talented person. So the process aims to ensure that employees are performing at their best and contributing to the organization's success. Remember, you as a human resource manager, you are there to make sure that the organization is successful through the people. The organization is successful through the people. So if the people are not managed well, definitely the organization will not be successful. So it is always in your hands. Make sure that employees are performing to their level best, at their level best, so that they contribute to the organization's success. So during the performance management process, the organization sets clear performance expectation for each employee, including specific goals and objectives. We have already seen that. Regular feedback is provided. We have already seen that. And the evaluation. Good. Let's come to the employee engagement. Under employee engagement, we are saying to maximize talent utilization, employees must feel personally connected and engaged with the organization, as it is a crucial factor in an organization's success. Okay? To maximize talent utilization, employees must feel personally connected and engaged with the organization. Did you watch the DPP's convention? Okay. How was it? What has made you to be good? Okay, the statement which
Peter said.
What did he say? Remember, you have an assignment here. The assignment is, what does it say?
The two big parties in Malaya have had election competitions. That's Malawi Congress Party and Democratic Progressive Party. Compare and contrast how the parties treated their people. From your analysis, identify which party considers their people as a capital and give reasons for your answer. If you are a leader in the other parties, How basic you have that picture that you can
This is not fair.
It's not bias. It's real examples. Real examples of an organization.
It's about politics.
It's an organization. It's an organization. It's about politics. I mean, you are a human being and a human resource manager. So what do you mean by by politics? What do you mean by politics? It's about no. I tell you, if I give you another organization, you would also say the same thing.
About an organization, not about involving
Yeah, no, I think I'll come back to that one. I'll come back to that one. Okay.
What was that? That time is very decisions that make your man. The question is so really not considered. How can you?
But the one is to read about the including the organization. This message is not very fair. Why this is no,
I see no problem with the assignment.
Even if I give you another assignment, it will be the same. Because remember this. No, it's not about politics. Remember this. If I give you another assignment, it will be equal. It will be the same. What is required now is for you to find out a research. Okay? I'll give you, of course, I can just change the names. Simply change the name, but the question will remain the same. That's what I'm saying. Okay? Because I'll just change the names, but this assignment will remain the same. I'll just change the names. It's the same. It's an organization. What is it that you're afraid of? No, employee engagement. So what I'm saying is that to maximize talent utilization, employees must feel personally connected and engaged with the organization. So this is what prompted us into talking about DPP. Okay, the DPP party yesterday. The president did not sleep there. Okay, so whom did he delegate? If you followed it up, whom did he delegate? Okay, he delegated Chaponda, and the Antolangani came to Chaponda and said, "Your president is not here. After everything is done and said, who is gonna speak? Who is gonna speak to wind up the convention?" And Chaponda said, "I am gonna speak on behalf of the president, and he has delegated me." Okay. He has delegated me to do the speech. And he says, "Where is the speech?" And he says, "The speech is in my pocket. He has already given me the speech." So what we're saying here is that Chaponda is feeling personally connected and engaged to the organization, to the DPP party, to the DPP organization. Yes. So when a person is feeling connected and engaged, I tell you, you bring success to that organization. And the media has characterized the DPP convention as the best convention so far. Well organized. Well organized. Okay? The money that they spend is only about 500 million. As compared to MCP convention had to spend 1 billion. Okay? 1 billion. But the organizing itself was so good and the best so far. We don't know what will come out from the UTM and the like. But so far, the DBB has been very good. So we are saying that for you to manage well the talented guys, you must engage him or her so that he feels connected. He feels connected to the organization. When he feels connected, you become very happy. And I tell you, Chaponda yesterday, you say, but why has the president given you the speech? He says, I have been in DPP for 20 years. And the DPP is my party. I have never changed to any other party. So you can see already that he is personally connected, well connected, and has brought success to the DPP in terms of running or organizing the convention. Remember that Chaponda was, and is still, I don't know if it has finished, was the chair for the organizing committee of the convention, was the chair of the organizing committee for the convention. All right. So, engaged employees are all observed to be more productive, more motivated, satisfied, energized, and committed to the work, which is among the core HR goals of any organization. We're talking about any organization, whether it's a political party, whether it is a non-governmental organization, whether it is a parastatal. But at any organization, if you have an employee who is committed, there will be productivity. So an example of Chaponda, yesterday when the media was asking him whether Alimba, because it was night, but then Mulimba up to 12 o'clock night, he says, yes, I'll be here. And then he says, why? He says, I am motivated. This is my party. And I am happy with whatever is happening here. So there will be productivity when you engage an employee. And this employee will be motivated. And Chaponda was happy yesterday when he was interviewed, was very happy to say, this is what I've been waiting for. And I'm sure everything will go on well. And it brings satisfaction. When an employee is engaged, he is always satisfied with his work or her work. You would come to work at 7 o'clock instead of after 7. And he would knock off late. Okay? So going beyond what is expected. Why? Because the man or the woman is satisfied with his work. And he's energized. Why? He's energized. In other words, he feels strong for his work. The fact that he's engaged, he feels strong in his work. And not only that, but he is also committed. So you must make sure that you engage an employee. All right, compensation management. Remember, we're talking about talent management, which talks about performance management, employee engagement, and compensation management. Managing employees' compensations is a necessary part of human capital management, including payroll management, benefits administration, and periodic increment concerning market competitiveness. A talented person must be well paid. Payment, salaries must be given to such people that are talented. People that are not talented, people that are not committed, people that are not engaged, don't waste much time to give them more money. Give only to those that are talented. Give more. Because if you give more to such kind of people, they will fully commit themselves into that organization. But if you don't pay a good salary, they will run away from you. They'll run away from you and go for a green pasture. And go for a green pasture. Okay? Yeah. So in this case, we are also talking about timely payroll disbursement has a big impact on the employee satisfaction, which is once again a major measure of the success of management of an organization. Suppose you've agreed to pay one on every 25th of the month, and you don't pay him or her on such dates, and you go even to the other month and go as far as the 10th. I was in another university. They could pay me on the 10th or the 15th of the other month, which was very bad. I said, no, this is not good at all. Okay, so for you to keep the talented people, to manage the talented people, you must pay them on time, on the time that you have agreed. Pay them money, and then they will be very much happy, very much happy. I think they here at the University of Lilongwe, when it was 2024, if not 25, I was already paid. I said, wow, this is good. This is good. So we are saying that you must pay your workers on time, and this will bring an impact into the employee's satisfaction, because an employee has got so many other things at home that he needs to take care of: school fees, food for the family, and other payments, other bills. So if you don't pay this man on time, so give him or her some monies on time so that he can be able to bring satisfaction to the job. So in today's world of corporations, employees not only seek monetary compensation, but several other benefits such as gratuity funds, medical insurance, paid leaves, company-sponsored tours, vehicles, bonuses, and demands policies. So these are the things that are required when you're compensating people, when you're compensating your employees. They must have gratuity funds at the end of the day. What is a gratuity fund? What's the difference between a pension and gratuity? What's the difference between a pension and gratuity? Pension is you get what? Anyway, pension is is a contributory thing, whereby an employee is also contributing towards his pension, and an employer is also contributing towards his pension. While gratuity is solely from the employer, a thank you for working with us for 10 years, a thank you for working with us for 20 years, a thank you for working with us for 50 years, and so on and so forth. So that is a gratuity. That is a gratuity. Okay, so we are saying that not only gratuity funds, but also medical insurance. Make sure that your employees are on medical insurance. Not only him, but also his family should be included, like the wife and the children. Okay? Because when a wife gets sick, he can also not come to work. If children get sick, he cannot also come to work. So you must put them on medical so that the man is free to come to work. Paid leaves. Paid leaves is that after 12 months, one must take a leave. And these leaves should not be for free. You must pay for their leave. How much is a leave pay? How much is a leave pay? Don't you have leave pay? Don't you know that there's leave pay? Oh, there's always a leave pay. Leave pay is that after you've worked for 12 months, then you want to take a leave. the company should pay you another full month salary. And we call it 13th check. Another full month salary that must be paid to you on sick leave. But not many companies do this, okay? Only a few companies. Other companies will just give you transport money. Mupita kuti, mupita umangochi. Tango tende ngani ka 10,000 yaka. Mukafika umangochi. Fige.
What happens to those people who don't take money?
Okay, those people that don't take leave, there is a negotiation between the employer and the employee. In other words, the employer would buy their time of staying in the organization instead of going for a leave. So in other words, you will be paid double. Okay, for that particular month, you will be paid double for not going to leave. That's kanga ogwira ganyo. It's kanga ogwira ganyo. That's kanga ogwira ganyo. All right. So we are saying again, company-sponsored tours. There must be sometimes, relaxation, whereby members of staff are relaxing at an organization. Kupita ko kunyanja, kukaona ko nyanja. Mukumva in maisha mumaumira kwambiri. I don't know why. Maisha mumaumira kwambiri. You must take your people to the lake so that they can also enjoy themselves. It is very important. Company-sponsored tours. You go to Chikwawa, there's a game reserve there. Mkaone Nyala, mkaone Chanugu, Kango, and so on and so forth. Together as a team, as a company. Not only that, provide some vehicles to people that are in need of the vehicles. What's the the whole organization? Bwana akwele umweyo, inaso akafuna gari mutakwele umweyo. Have different cars. So there must be one car for general duties and other assigned cars for top managers. This is good. This is good for someone who is talented in an organization. Just because he has got a car, he will not move away from you. Okay, he will not run away from you. This other day, I was interviewed by another university, and they say, "Can you come here full time?" I said, "No, I can't. I can't." How much are you paid there? I mentioned the salary that I get. He says, but here we can also give you more than this. We can give you up to, so he was talking about the 100,000 difference. I said, no. Where I am working, I have a car. I've been given a car. So if I've been given a car, and you want me to be here, you see the difference. Just because there I'm been given a car, so I 100,000 to me was not a big difference. And then I said, no, sorry, please. I can still help you, but on a part-time basis. So it is very important to give someone a car. Bonuses. Bonuses are also important when you are able to give someone more money. Okay? So that is under compensation management. Under compensation management. So we're talking about performance management, employee engagement, and compensation management. Let's come to number C, talent promotion and optimization. Talent promotion and optimization. So here we are saying that a talented person must not only be managed, but must also be promoted. Must not only be managed, but must also be promoted. How do you promote someone else? Number one, through learning and development. Learning and development are essential components of human capital management. Learning and development are essential components of human capital management. Any person with a big vision will always have a hunger for growth, and that hunger for fulfillment moderates job satisfaction. So, for one to get satisfied, he must acquire the learning and development. Yesterday, as I was coming from here on Sunday afternoon, I had a lesson here. So I went Pabwandilo. I wanted to buy fuel. And then after buying fuel, I was, making a corner to take my route. And I saw my lecturer. I saw my lecturer from Chancellor College. I know she's a big woman, but the way she was looking, it was like, a small girl. And then she looked at me. I said, my lecturer, what are you doing here? Then I packed up and then said, no, here I'm shortly living in Lilongwe, but I'm still in Zomba. My husband is working with another company here, and therefore that's why I'm here for the weekend. But I think tomorrow I'll head on to Zomba. So the first question that she asked me, are you done with your studies?
Really?
Are you done with your studies? I said, Madam, I have just remained with just a little, very little. Then my supervisor has to check on what I have done on my thesis. So from there, then I should come to Zomba and defend my thesis. Come again? You had to lie?
That's true.
It's true.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. It's true. It's not lying.
Oh, I thought maybe you were making up a story.
No. It's a true. It's a true thing. Because she's my lecturer, and I had to tell her the truth. I can't lie. And then she asked me, "Can you remind me who is your supervisor?" You see. So then I said, "Okay, my first supervisor is Dr. Nyirongo." I said, yes, your second supervisor is Dr. So. You can imagine, because she is my lecturer, she knows everything. Yeah, so what I'm saying here is that learning and development are essential components of human capital management. So you must be able to bring someone into school so that he is developed. And I felt happy yesterday to meet my lecturer and ask me this question: how far have you gone with your studies? So I wrote her last night, reaching home, I wrote her to say, thank you, madam, that we met at Bandilo, and thank you for the talking, and especially to ask me about how far I've gone with my studies. And he says, thank you, that's it's my pleasure. Come again? Go on. She has everything. She doesn't need my Fanta. However, I felt sorry. You're right. I felt sorry when I reached home. I said, I haven't done anything to my lecture. At least I would have, given her something. A drink. Eh? So this process aims to help employees improve their skills and knowledge and ultimately enhance their performance. This process, that's of learning and development, help employees to improve their skills and knowledge and ultimately enhance their performances. So it is through this learning and development that will help this employee to enhance skills and knowledge, and therefore his performance will be well. So even at home, when you have an employee, a domestic worker, he doesn't know how to cook, you should be there and assist her to say, this is how we cook. This is how we cook rice. There are so many ways of cooking rice, I believe so. Though I'm very poor in cooking. How do you cook rice?
Everyone is doing it on his own, her own.
Okay, you see? So which way is better than the other?
We're discussing the neighbor.
It depends, eh? The flying is better than the boiling.
QD.
Okay. Yes.
Q3.
Almost. You're flying. Okay. We know Google is 50-50. A little mistake then wanaongeka. Yeah, so we must bring learning and development to such kind of people so that they are able to enhance their performances. This process involves identifying training needs, creating learning and development programs, and providing ongoing support and coaching. How do you identify training needs? How do you identify training needs? Through a survey, okay? Through a survey or through an evaluation. Sometimes it's known as performance appraisal. So you find training needs through performance appraisal, through performance evaluation, and through a survey. You can come up with the training needs. Creating learning and development programs. As an HR, you must be able to create learning and development programs. To have a specific program for learning. One day I asked my HR to say, look, I am dean of the faculty of commerce, but I have my young people who are not qualified yet. Can you provide some funds for them to go back to school? And then she says, all so many excuses. Then it's not good. You must create a learning environment whereby people who are working in that organization can be able to send back to school and learn something. And providing ongoing support and coaching. Very important. Ongoing support and coaching. You must be available every day, every time to coach and support them. That's how you can promote the talents or the talented people that are there. Okay, let's move on. The organization identifies the skills and knowledge employees need to develop to perform their roles effectively. So it is an organization who would identify a skill and knowledge gap, so that your employees can be able to partake This can include technical skills such as software, hardware, proficiency, and soft skills such as communication, network, and leadership. Suppose you have been chosen to be a receptionist. A receptionist must be able to speak well. Must be able to communicate. Because if he doesn't know or she doesn't know how to communicate, then the whole company will have that bad reputation. You must be able to give someone communication skills. The organization creates learning and development programs to address these skills gaps and provide ongoing support and coaching, as we have already said. Let's move on. Succession plan. Still under the talent promotion, succession plan. So after you have done the learning and development, you must have a succession plan. Succession planning is identifying and developing internal candidates to fill key roles within the organization. Whether you like it or not, there is a need for succession plan. Why should organizations strive to fill the gaps within the organization from within? That's internal candidates. Why should organizations strive to get someone from within to fill the gaps? Why? Come again? Why don't you get someone from outside to fill the gap? And instead you are taking someone from within. To have what? Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's come to UTM. UTM is hiring someone from outside. Let's say Kabambe. Okay. Why are they hiring someone from outside and not taking someone from within?
56. Q3 hapa.
To hire someone is what? Has the skills. Okay. Okay. So which one is a better evil? To hire someone from outside or to take someone from within? It's a better evil. Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's a better evil. Okay. All right. So to take someone from within is much better as compared to take someone from outside. Why? Because this particular person who is from within, he knows all the corners of the organization. He has the knowledge, vast knowledge of the organization. And he cannot sell this organization out to anyone else. And this is what Patricia Kaliadi was so cautious about it when the interviewers went to her and asked her some questions on the side. He says, are you allowing anyone else to participate in the convention that is coming ahead of you? He says, yes, everyone is free to come, as long as you will not sell out the organization. As long as you will not take UTM to another party, we are happy to do that. Okay? So what she was saying is that there is a need for loyal UTM party members to take up the positions in the party. She doesn't want anyone else to come in for the sake of coming in and then they later on sell out that organization to another organization.
Oh, yeah.
Then the devil you don't know. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So succession plan is identifying and developing internal candidates to fill key roles within the organization. Has the DPP managed to do a succession plan? No. They failed. But from the speech that the DPP president said yesterday or the day before yesterday, he says, this is my final time. I will not stand again. So I want to believe that he will start now planning for someone else to succeed him. Yes, that's what I believe. So this process of succession plan aims to ensure that the organization has a pipeline of qualified candidates for critical roles within the organization, especially in case of someone's absence, and it is also necessary to ensure the smooth flow of the operations. So as a human resource manager, when you see that this top man is going to retire in 2 years' time, you now start engaging someone, putting someone in place to understand him, to understand her, so that he's able to by the end of the day, to succeed this top person, in case of death or what must be able to take over, So this process involves identifying the critical role within the organization, assessing the skills and competences required. You look around, who has the skills? Who is competent enough so that he can be able to take over this organization? It is very easy in other organizations, but very difficult also in other organizations to identify people that are skilled and people that have got the competence to acquire such a role, So, for this succession plan to take place, what do you look at? Do you simply look at the position of a person, or you simply look at the qualification of a person, What is it that you look at when you are planning to succeed a top person? What do you go for? What criteria do you look for? Leadership skills, yes. Leadership skills matters a lot. Matters a lot. And loyalty. And loyalty to the company. And loyalty to the company. How loyal is this particular person? Okay, so in conclusion, we're saying human capital management is a crucial process for any organization that wants to succeed in today's highly competitive business environment. So if you want to be competitive in today's diverse world, whereby things, environment are changing on daily basis, if you want to be competitive, go for human capital management. Human capital management. So the differences, the different processes involved in human capital management, such as talent acquisition, performance management, and learning and development, are all interlinked and play a critical role in ensuring that an organization has the right talent to achieve its goals. To achieve its goals. Good. So that's part of the introduction when it comes to human capital management processes. Okay? And we said that we're going to look into some drivers. Some drivers. So number one, let's look at human capital drivers. Human capital drivers. Human capital management drivers act as catalysts for an effective human resource management, making sure that every employee tries his level best to utilize his knowledge and skills to benefit his organization and become an indispensable resource in due course of time. So what we're saying here is that it acts as a catalyst for an effective human resource management. In other words, you do better if you go by the capital management drivers. And it will make sure that every employee tries his level best to utilize his knowledge and skills. And this is the key area whereby for someone to make sure that he is putting into it, he is indeed utilizing his knowledge and skills, it requires you as a manager to manage him or her as a capital. As a capital. Okay, so human capital management drivers fall into 5 major categories. Human resource drivers fall into 5 major categories. These are, number one, human capital driver number one is leadership practice. Leadership practices. Under leadership practices, we have number one, communication. Employees must be treated well for them to develop a feeling of attachment and loyalty towards the organization. Mungu kalipa daily, Mungu kalipa. You. You. No. Don't do that. Communication matters. Even at home, okay? When you get married one day, make sure that you are able to communicate well with your with your partner. Otherwise, if the communication is not good, then you create problems.
So at that point,
this is room 3, yeah.
Have the first Q1. 25 divided by 100 times 15. That's Q1. 75 by 100 times 15. That will be Q3.
So what we're saying is that employees must be treated well for them to develop a feeling of attachment and loyalty towards the organization. You don't treat your employees as servants. You don't treat your employees as slaves. No, they should be treated well. Give them the respect. We have our guards in our campus. Each and every time I passes by, he says, "How are you, sir?" Then I reply back to say, "I'm all right, Msogolere. How are you?" Okay? So you respect. You respect. No matter that this particular person's job is lower than yours, but you must respect this gentleman or this woman. Managers must understand that their role is not just to sit in closed cabins and impose ideas on others. No, they ought to communicate well with their subordinates. You must communicate well with your subordinate. And as you're communicating well with your subordinate, then it becomes easier for the people that are working with you to produce a competitive advantage. So we are saying leadership practices, very, very important. And under leadership practices, we're talking about communication as number one. The way you communicate with your employees, very important. Because then it will bring loyalty to the employees. It will bring a feeling of attachment to the employees if you communicate well. If you communicate well. Yeah, there are so many examples. Zuma in South Africa failed to be a president. Why? His communication to people has always been not good at all. But in Malawi, the president,
what are you finding?
A chair.
Are we in the same?
He's a very good communicator.
Line
but
of
failing to
thinking?
implement.
So should be aided.
In those days, he was saying, "I will be able to buy you shoes."
The other question
guys.
which
Everyone
I have asked is to say, when you look at the range, and
all of us we were convinced to say, this president is going to buy us shoes.
Are you getting about?
And later on he says, do I know your sizes?
Which is just going around. The same question I've given you, but
which is true, yes.
Telling a story. And the story.
So employees must have an easy access to senior management.
That the range is
easy access. Don't block them.
A lot of
when they want to speak to the senior management, allow them to go there and speak to the senior management.
Shows that the numbers are falling.
Communication from management to employees, also known as top-down communication, is essential for employees to be aware of their goals and objectives, and for them to know what is expected out of them.
Showing that they
so we talk about communication is a two-way kind of communication.
When
an employee should be able to communicate with the top managers should be able to communicate with employees. And by so doing, they are able to know what is expected of them. So very, very important as leaders.
Numbers, 3 of
if
them.
we want to manage our people as a capital.
You were cutting off
manage our people as a capital.
88.
Number 2 on the same
65.
is inclusiveness.
You put
is inclusiveness. Management ought to sit with employees on common platform to invite suggestions and feedbacks from them.
Remove 53.
So in other ways, you are able to make your employees participating. You don't just impose things on your employees. No. Make them participate. How do you make them participate?
Close to one another here. The ones who have cut off.
Invite suggestions,
outliers.
How do you invite suggestions?
And it is these
sometimes
outliers
you have a survey whereby there's a questionnaire, and then you allow them to fill in the questionnaire.
Actually,
sometimes there's a suggestion box at the door, at the entrance. So they will throw in their suggestions in the box.
Very far
in the
away.
box. Yeah, so it is better to include them in the suggestions, in the decisions that
the majority of the performers
are leader.
Here.
And so in so doing, being a leader, you are managing people as
That's why we
as a
cut
capital.
off that
I liked
of
the
the
way
scores.
Chakwera did
You cut them off
with the
from this
convention.
side. You cut them off from that side.
You know, he allowed the two
Cutting them
parties
off. If it
to
is
fight.
a negative skewed
Hey, two parties to fight.
25%
The two parties within the party to fight.
Moving
Another one goes to court. Another one says this.
If it
Another
is a
one says
possible
that.
scheme,
But in the end, he said
removing this.
everyone
which are
here
outliers.
should be allowed to be voted in or to vote.
Your
And when he said so,
shows the
he
people's
made
performance in terms of
everything
ability,
to run well
the
and
range
smoothly. And this is
does
what
not
we
do
want
that.
as a leader. As a
So
leader,
that's the
for you
story,
to manage your your people
I showed.
as a
this been
capital,
helpful?
you must be able to
Okay.
make a decision based on the suggestions of others. Based on the suggestions of others. Another leadership way in order to manage people as a capital is supervision. Senior executives and management must reduce the various levels of hierarchy between them and employees. Management must interact and motivate the employees from time to time for them to give their levels best. So you cut off the protocols whereby, you know, for one to meet with the Bwana, there are so many ladders. And you come here and say, go and meet so you have to book ABC. No. Cut off the ladders. And an employee should have time to go straight to the top manager and be able to discuss with him or her. Very important. So reduce various levels of hierarchy between them and employees. So leadership
So we have
matters a
maybe
lot when it comes to human capital management. How are you leading the people? Leadership practices. How are you leading the people?
Are we okay to continue?
Again, on the same leadership, senior executives should support, lead, and influence the workforce so that they contribute effectively towards
When we're talking
the
about
organization. Senior executives should support, lead, and influence the workforce so that they contribute effectively towards the organization.
I guess we have now a good handle.
How would one support the workforce? Suppose you are a leader, and then you are able to see people working on the ground, and yet they don't have food for that particular day. It is your responsibility as a leader to pull out something, you know, from your pocket to say, takagula nko fanta papa. Kapena takagula ni memo, ufa memo.
So that's why together.
So the moment you are showing that kind of interest, everyone will be happy to say that indeed this one is a good leader. I think I shared with you one day about an HR from Zimba. She used to go and eat with the guards, the gardeners, and the cleaners, and so on and so forth. So every time she would pull out some money and say, "Takagulani for memo, tapika ni memo, let's eat together." So the guys up and still enjoy, and they are still enjoying because a top person is able to eat with them. So we are saying driver number one is your leadership practices.
Meaning that it is used.
So your leadership practices matters a lot. You have already written that.
Through 0 point.
Yeah, you have already written
as
that.
Well as
your leadership practices matters a lot.
Equal intervals between.
They matter a lot because the way you are leading people will help people to know that they are managed as a capital. Okay, so that's driver number one. Let's come to driver number two.
On the mean.
Driver number two is employee engagement.
Is an arithmetic average. Where you are.
When we talk about employee engagement, we are talking about key responsibilities that are required for an employee. So key responsibility areas of an individual should be designed in line with his education, skills, expertise, experience, and also area of interest. This way, work never becomes a burden for him.
Of course, you see people also using that.
Which area do you like?
Interval scale. But you know, as we're talking about
sporting,
studying. In interval scale, you know that you are not using it very accurate, it becomes a good measure in terms of the measuring scale only. But in terms of the
Yes.
article
So you look
itself,
at the areas of interest. So an individual may have an interest in education. And if you see that this particular individual is more interested in education than any other things,
however,
then
you want to
allow
use it
him or her
in a